Hi everyone, welcome in the channel. Today we're going to talk about how to ship to Japan. Before we go ahead, remember to subscribe to our channel, leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video. Moving forward with our topic, today we're going to talk about how to ship to Japan. Let's start from the basics. What can you import in Japan? Well, counterfeit, narcotics, firearms, something like that. It's quite, I would say, common sense to don't import such goods anywhere in the world, not only in Japan. Overall, when we think about Japan, we think about dutiable goods and GST. Actually, it's not GST or VAT, it's called consumption tax, and it's 10%. So 10% consumption tax applies on the chief value, so on the declared value of your products, including the insurance or any shipping fee that you pay to ship this product to Japan, and on top of the duties. So every time we need to calculate the consumption tax at 10%, we need to sum together the chief value, so the cost of the product. In this case, if you're selling to a consumer into Japan, a Japanese consumer, then it's the transaction value, the value of your products, the sales value, plus insurance, plus freight. Then you calculate duties and you pay the duties. So then you group all together, duties, freight, shipping fee, insurance, and transaction value of the product, and you apply the 10% of the consumption tax. Now, if you are shipping via, let's say, a post, there are different scenarios that apply on how the duties are paid or need to be paid by the consumer, the final receiver. First of all, there's a threshold in Japan, so anything below 10,000 yuan is not subject to duties or taxes, 10,000 declared value of the product, of the shipment. If the duties that need to be paid for that specific value, for that specific product, are below 10,000 yuan, so we're talking about duty value, it's below 10,000, then the consumer, your customers, can directly get the product, the deliver, and pay upon delivery the duties and the taxes. If the duty and taxes value is above 10,000 yuan, then it's when they actually need to pay first and then they're going to get the delivery. So the custom clearance or the delivery office or the post office will issue a notice where basically the consumer will get the customer will get this notice. They will need to pay for the duties and taxes first, and then they're going to get the delivery. Then if the duty value to be paid is above 300,000 yen, then it's where you actually need to go to the post office. There's no such delivery for very high amount of duty, like above 300,000 yen. Overall, when you ship via post, the custom clearance needs to happen within a month. Otherwise, the goods will automatically return, and that's when you have a return fee. They're not going to ask you if you want to return this post, you're just going to return it. Now, let's go back to the custom value. How can you identify what's the custom value and the declared value of your product? Where there are common rules as any other country in the world, the most common use and the first one to be used is the transaction value, which means how much you sold the product for. So if your customer paid $10, then it's $10 declared value. But remember that duties and taxes need to be applied on the chief value. So you don't only take the transaction value, you're going to pay duties and taxes on the insurance that you paid for shipping and also the shipping fee all together. But overall, your custom value, your declared value, is basically the transaction value, so how much you sold the product for. And then there are also alternatives. For example, let's say that there's no transaction value because it's a gift or it's a sample, then of course there's like similar goods type of valuation methods, or identical goods sell to the local markets, and so on. Alternative methods, basically. Of course, you need a proof that there has been a transaction. So the custom clearance may ask you for a contract, they may ask you for an invoice, or like the transaction through your e-commerce stores, like Shopify payments, the payout, anything like that. But you need to have a proof, and you need to keep records of those proofs for quite a long time. Overall, if you're declaring with a different currency, let's say you're shipping from the US and you're declaring US dollar, then they're gonna automatically exchange, they're gonna convert the USD into Japanese yen, and it's where actually they're going to use the current exchange rate, and it's also available. Past exchange rates are also available in the Japanese custom, let's say, website. And now we talk about the rules of origin. So how can you actually benefit from free trade agreements? Overall, Japan has 14 trade agreements with countries and also with Asian, let's say, but overall we have Chile, we have India, we have Australia, we have many countries. But how can you make sure that you get preferential duty rate or a duty-free type of product? Well, that depends from where it's coming, right? So you need to assess the origin of your product, and that's where rules of origin come to picture. And there are different ways of identifying the origin of your, let's say, products. Overall, how can you certify that? Either you have a certificate of origin that has been issued by a third party that offers certifications, or you self-declare the origin of the goods, which can be done through commercial invoice or let's say, declarations. Overall, what you need to keep in mind is, where is the product originating really? Let's say that you actually buy raw materials from another country, from where the goods are coming, right? Because if, for example, you're selling, this is an example on the Japanese custom website, it's where, for example, you purchase olives from a third country, let's say from Chile, and then you import them in Canada, and in Canada you transform them into oil, and from the oil you make some soap, and then you sell soap to Japan. Well, soap is actually made in Canada at that point, because the originating material is the olive oil. It's not the olive itself, it's the olive oil, because in that case the olive oil is recognized as an originating materials, because it went through a very substantial transformation compared to the raw material. So the raw material itself is originated from Chile, but when you import into Canada and you transform it into oil, that's the originated product that's actually substantially made into Canada, and then you use that to make the soap. And overall, how can you make sure that there's a substantial transformation in the raw materials? As simple as a change of HS code. So as long as the HS code changes, it means that the product type changes. So in that case, as long as it changes, and olives are definitely different compared to olive oil, especially for example, marmalades. Like strawberry and sugar are in a different category compared to marmalade. So in that case, it's a change of HS code. So the originating, let's say, product marmalade will be made in Canada, for example, and not from where the strawberries are coming from. So of course, it's a little bit bigger than that, but just keep in mind that when you need to identify the origin of your goods, it's either a whole obtained product, for example, the meat from Australia, ribeye, for example, whatever, it's actually originated from Australia, and the meat is cut and done, everything is done there, and they simply export. Or when, let's say, you import in your own country the raw materials from other countries and that don't have a free trade agreement with Japan, for example, and you transform them substantially, which means there's an entire different product comes out of it, or a change of HS code. Well, in that case you can identify them as originating from your own country, where the process change and the product change happened. But overall, there are some goods where duties cannot be exempted. For example, leather bags or gloves, and there are different categories where you need to pay duties no matter what, and where also the threshold 10,000 yen don't apply. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and I will be happy to deep dive into another topic or specific topic or questions that you may have in the next video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.